Ooh, it's going to be an exciting day of bets. We get some afternoon soccer and some Thursday night football. Hey there, everybody. Welcome on to this episode of Winning Bets. It's, of course, Jason Mattis with you here, giving you guys free sports picks every single day. Thanks for kicking off your Thursday morning with me. Let's go ahead and recap yesterday. And then we got some good bets in today. We got some good soccer and football going on a little bit later on this evening. Yesterday we went 0-2. The one win we got was just an arbitrage bet there. That Rifey and that Cardinals-Dodgers game just scraped across a little, and I mean just a little bit of profit. So we basically went 0-2 yesterday, spoiled by the red card in the Italy versus Spain game. I hate when you see a red card and you're wanting a game to go ahead and end with a draw. Obviously, then in the second half, you look at the stats, Italy had no possession. Absolutely no possession. They ended up somehow getting a goal out of that and giving us a good maybe 10 or so minute sweat. But yeah, there was really going to be hard pressed for them to go ahead and level that game, being down a man right there. So just unfortunate right there. Then I was a little upset, little mad that red card came out, that we didn't quite get that result to go our way. Already liked the Dodgers, liked Max Scherzer, talked about on yesterday's show. I did Max Scherzer to be the winning pitcher at plus 140. Of all the bets that I thought on yesterday, or that leading up to that game, that one was really good odds at plus 140. And just liked it. I thought the Dodgers were the better team, and Dodgers win the game. Max Scherzer doesn't even go 5 innings, so no chance in hell he can be the winning pitcher. So down, basically would have been a unit and a half, because remember that Italy-Spain game, that was only a half unit bet right there. So again, scraped across a little bit of profit there in that arbitrage bet with that Rifey game right there. So yeah, down a little bit on the day and down almost 2 units so far on the week. I was actually, talking with my doorman yesterday when I came home. He was, seeing us come inside or whatever, asked us, he said, hey, how's that gambling thing going on? I said, well, actually, right now, it's not going too good. Probably in the last week, I've probably lost 5 days or so in the last 7 days. 5 of the last 7. He's like, whoa, come on, man. You always tell me about how you're winning. He said, hey, man, just the ebb and flows. Just the ebb and flows of sports betting. And, currently right now, not quite getting the results, but still super confident. Still really, really confident in what I'm doing, because I'm still putting in the amount of work, just not getting the results. So I know it'll turn turn at really any moments right there. I'm not hiding, not only going to give you guys one bet today. Now I'm going to keep on doing the same amount of work. However many bets I come up with, just going to keep firing them away. It'll turn. It's never fun, but it's going to turn. We'll start firing off these bets. We'll get these suckers to start cashing. We'll putting that money in our pocket, just like we've been doing over the course of this year so far. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into it. It all starts with soccer. Afternoon action, UEFA Nations. Let's go ahead and go right back to another semifinal matchup. Got Belgium going on against France. Really like this matchup right here. Gonna go ahead and hit you guys with 2 bets from this. But first of all, just in terms of talking about it, in terms of form coming into this, I think Belgium's the better team. I mean, they were ousted from the Euro competition this summer by a better opponent, losing to Italy, in a good game, good 2-1 game to Italy. Meanwhile, France, they exited that same tournament by Switzerland. That was a wild game, letting Switzerland come back kind of like how they did in dramatic fashion. So that was a good game. Then you look at the European qualifiers leading up to this semifinal game right here. France just hasn't been all that impressive in their World Cup qualifiers. Meanwhile, Belgium, they've been handling business. Simply put, they've just been handling business. Some shutouts that they've been getting, clean sheets. So I think they've been looking the better team. There's really no head-to-heads to go off of between these two clubs. They haven't played since 2018. So really just basing it up off of, current form. And people want to act like, France is top dog. Well, France won that World Cup. That was now 4 years. That's 2 World Cups in that rearview mirror. This is not the same France team. I think Belgium, they still haven't won a major tournament. They're the only one who's been ranked number 1 and hasn't yet won a major tournament. I don't know if you want to call this UEFA Nations League a major tournament. You can go ahead and do that. But to me, there's really only the World Cup, and then the Euros or Copa America, Gold Cup, wherever you wherever you live in terms of your territory wise. But I guess this is a major tournament. I think maybe this is one that maybe is a little bit under the radar, obviously comparing it to the Euros and World Cups. So maybe this is where Belgium can strike. Go ahead and get that first major trophy. Again, I think they're the better team. So I've got 2 bets from this one. You can get Belgium to advance at even money. plus 100, so I like that. Already going to go ahead and give me the better team at plus money. I'm not going to get lulled into the France name and, just kind of who France is in terms of from a name standpoint. So I think Belgium's the better team, better form going into this. So I'll take Belgium at even money to go ahead and advance. Then the other one I think both teams will find the back of the net, and I think over 2.5 will hit. This will be a nice open game throughout large parts of this game. They're really going to play some good attacking brand of football here, will these two clubs. So give me over 2.5 and both teams to score at plus 155 over at Bet Rivers. Absolutely love that bet right there. You're going to get a good game of football between these two clubs. Really looking forward to watching that here a little bit later on this afternoon. So that's what we'll do. We'll do Belgium to advance at even money, and we'll do over 2.5 and both teams to score at plus 155 over at Bet Rivers. All right, let's go ahead and now move our attention now to Thursday Night Football. Of course, I've always given you guys already two bets for this game already tonight, and we'll go ahead and recap them at the end. I've got one more to add for you, and I was between two bets, and I was sitting there doing my research. This is one that you can find over at DraftKings. You can look for it under game props, and then you can look for it up under scoring specials. Some other sports books certainly may have it, but in terms of where I bet it, it was on DraftKings game props and a scoring special. There were two bets I was between. If you look at the head, there's been 8 times these two teams have played in the head-to-head since 2017. Obviously, we used 2017 because that's when Sean McVay was hired on to the Rams. So now you get comparable between these two coaching staffs going at it 8 times. This bet has cashed in 6 of those 8 times. So if you want to make a bet, and you know what? If that sucker cashes 6 out of 8 times, you're going to have a whole hell of a lot of profit up in your pocket. So I like this bet. I absolutely do like it. I was between 2. The other one is also actually cashed in 6 out of 8. And the 2 times that they don't, they lose together. So I didn't want to play them both and either get 2 wins or 2 losses. You're likely not going to get a push. These are pretty well correlated. So the one I did not play was under 14.5 for the largest lead. That's the one I did not play. The one I did play was for their team to score 3 unanswered times, and I went no at plus 225. The reason I did this one is because this one's at plus 225, and the other one's at minus 120. So this bet will say that there will be one team that will not score 3 consecutive times in a row. That's what I'm saying when I say no to that. We obviously, extra points and 2-point conversions, they don't count. So you're talking, 3 straight field goals, 3 straight touchdowns, 3 straight safeties, or a combination of those 3 scores happening 3 times in a row, and I don't see that happening. I've already broken this game down on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. This is going to be extremely close, extremely competitive game against 2 clubs or 2 teams that absolutely know each other, 2 coaching staffs that absolutely know each other. I'm looking for a fun, exciting game, and I don't see either one of these teams getting 3 consecutive scores, so at plus 225, I'm rolling, baby. This one's cashed 6 out of 8 games in their head-to-heads. Maybe it's going to go ahead and make it 7 out of 9 after tonight. I absolutely love that plus 225 cashing right there. Let's also hit you guys with a risk-free same-game parlay. They're doing one over at PointsBet. Keep in mind, I'm only doing this, guys, because it's risk-free. So if you want to sit there and if you got a risk-free, bet or parlay on your platform that you bet on, by all means, go ahead and join me. If not, if you feel like gambling, go ahead and join me. But we already know parlays are hard to hit. If you want to try and take 4 events and parlay them together, that's tough. But now you want to try and predict 4 events within the same game and try and get all those hit. This is tough. So keep in mind, this is a risk-free opportunity for me. That's why I'm going to go ahead and pull it. If you want to go ahead and join me, what am I going to be rolling with? I'm going to take Darrell Henderson over 50-plus yard rushing yards. I'm going to take DK Metcalf over 75-plus receiving yards. Tyler Lockett over 50-plus receiving yards. Van Jefferson over 50 yards receiving. I'm going to take Seahawks plus 7.5, and you can see that right there. That's a plus 988 parlay. Absolutely love the parlay. I'm only doing it again because it's risk-free, but doesn't mean I didn't, put in pieces that I absolutely love. So love these players all going over their yardage prop, and then I love the Seahawks keeping this close, keeping it within a touchdown. Hell, I even like the Seahawks even winning this game. That's how close I think this was going to be. So at plus 988, I'm rolling, and let me know if you're rolling with me. All right, let's never too early, I should say. It's never too early to start looking for Sunday and start locking in our props. This first one I went ahead and tweeted out yesterday, and then I've got 2 more for you that I just made this morning. So the one I tweeted out yesterday, though, was Jamison Crowder over 4.5 catches at minus 120 up over at DraftKings. He went for 7 last week on 9 targets, and only one of those came in overtime. So in terms of regulation football, this one went ahead and cashed easily as he had 6 catches. He also had a TD last week in that game up against the Titans. So he's a great one of the top slot receivers, I think, in all of the NFL. And Wilson's starting to build that rapport with him, getting a good touchdown. He absolutely loves him, getting 9 targets last week. So you can see that he's starting to become his guy. And there's a reason, that he's becoming becoming his guy. He just gets open. He's got great separation. Again, a fantastic slot receiver. The Jets are number 8 in passing play percentage at 61.88% in their last 3 games. So they're showing you that they don't mind putting the games on Zach Wilson's shoulders, letting him kind of be the guy that they drafted. He's playing a little bit better here lately, obviously coming off a win last week. Now they go to London to take on the Falcons. They're passing almost 62% of their passes, or 62% of their plays. I like that. And Crowder's going to get a lot of those targets just like he saw last week. This one cashed 7 out of 12 games last week. Crowder's banged up a lot. That's why a couple of those games he only had 2 targets, exited a couple of those games early. Otherwise, I think it cashes more and then just 7 out of 12. So a popular target, a great slot receiver. I'll go and take him to have over 4.5 catches at -120. The next one I'm going to add here is Dawson Knox, Buffalo Bills tight end, over 30.5 receiving yards at -125 over at DraftKings. This one as well, it's cashed 3 out of 4 games so far this season, cashed easily 2 out of those in those 3 games. He averages 5 targets per game, which is getting about 3.33 catches per game. But what I like more about that is that doesn't sound like a whole lot of catches and a whole lot of targets, but the Chiefs are one of the worst teams at defending the tight end position. In fact, they allow the 3rd most receptions to the tight end position at 6.8 catches per game, and they also allow the most yards per game to the tight end position at 87. And again, Josh Allen absolutely loves Dawson Knox. He's got 4 TDs on the season, so Josh Allen certainly looks his way. This guy is a big play too. Of his catches, he averages 9.6 catches or 9.6 yards per catch. So he doesn't need a whole lot of catches to go ahead and hit this. He's a big guy. He's gotten long catches so far in the season of 25 yards, of 19 yards. So a target that Josh Allen obviously looks to often, and the fact that he's got 4 touchdowns. He's also a big play guy. I mentioned those big plays that he's gotten so far. Love his average of 9.6. You add that in with really the Chiefs' struggles and how they're, I would say, not guarding the tight end position. This one's an absolute no-brainer. So we'll do Dawson Knox over 30.5 yards at -125. And then the other one, we'll go ahead and run it back. It's Mike Gesicki. Same player we bet last week, same cash we got last week. We'll go ahead and run him back over 40.5 passing or receiving yards at -115 over at DraftKings. They're playing the Bucs. So the only thing I'll add to it, other than all of really the justification I gave last week, and again, we got that cash last week, the only thing I'll add to it is they're playing the Bucs. And we look at opponents are passing on the Bucs like all day long, and the reason they're passing on the Bucs is they quite simply they cannot run on this team. This is an excellent rush defense. Teams try, and all the teams just have failure in running the ball, and they revert to the pass mainly because of the Bucs rush defense is really so good, but B, then they generally get behind, and now they're forced to throw it to keep up with it. Again, he's a huge target of Jacoby Brissett. We don't need to kind of go into those numbers because I justified the last week's bet with kind of all those numbers and how Brissett has really kind of just grown into this guy being his target. So at 40.5 yards, not scared at all. It's up from last week. I think last week we got it at 30 or 31. Maybe we got it at 32 yards. I think we got it in the low 30s, and he went up in the mid 50s. So yeah, give it to me, 40.5. This team's going to be throwing all over the Bucs, and he's going to be a primary target there of Brissett, so we'll like him at -115. All right, so to go ahead and recap, guys, we're going to go ahead and take Belgium to advance at even money. That one's going to cash for us. Over 2.5, and both teams will score in that same game at +155. That one's going to cash. There's the bet that I gave you tonight, team to score 3 unanswered times, no at +225. Already gave you guys Chris Carson under 14.5. That is now 11.5. So hopefully you guys got that. You guys may notice that I lose bets, and quite frankly, obviously everybody loses bets, but I've been losing a lot of bets here lately. But look at the numbers in terms of when they close. Either we get it at good juice and the juice is way up at closing, or something like this that we get at under 14.5. If you go bet that right now, it's at 11.5. So I'm always, generally speaking, on the right side of things, just not getting the right results. That's going to change tonight, baby. All starting with that soccer. And now in the Thursday Night Football, we're also going to take those Seahawks plus 4.5 points. Teasered that with the under 59.5 points in that game at +144. Going to go ahead and take Crowder again over 4.5 catches at -120. Go ahead and take Dawson Knox over 30.5 yards at -125. And Gesicki going to go ahead and run him back over 40.5 yards at -115. All right, guys, get pumped. Get pumped. We're going to have us a good day. I feel it. The work's still been going on. All the confidence is still super high, just not getting the results. That all changes right here and tonight. So go ahead and join me on these bets, and then we'll come back tomorrow. We got got a big weekend here. We got some NASCAR plays we're going to go ahead and give you guys on tomorrow's show. And then, of course, we'll hit you guys with the weekend NFL slate and any soccer bets we may have going on the international break. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today. And check out my other great videos in these corners.